What is up, everybody? What's going on? No schedule, no anything. I just wanted to, go through some things. I can't even go through the actual market open today. I really only can go till 9:30. So things are definitely different today. Hopefully everybody can hear me, and we're off to a good start here. I know I can't really check anything until I manage something. We got one person in here. A couple of people. 29 people. 4 likes. Hit that like button, guys and gals. Oh, how's everybody doing this morning? I should probably lower the latency. Good morning, Kingdom. Good morning, Diego. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Romeo. Love your videos. I've learned a lot. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Exhausted. I'm exhausted too. I stayed up pretty late last night trying to get a lot of things done. Good, already went to the gym. Time to trade. Yeah, see, I would love to do that. I'm creating my own gym in the house. Yeah, Rocket, AMC, and GME are the big, subjects today. But yeah, I would love to, obviously work out in the morning. I just tend to get overwhelmed with work most times. So I'm like working, at my job, working here. It's just a lot of things. Can I shout out Kingdom Boxing Gym? Where is that located? I'm at the gym now. Yeah, see, that would be amazing. I used to love going in the morning. I wouldn't spend as much time in the morning, making videos. It would already be posted. But since I talk about the stock market, I don't know how long like these longer streams are going to go for. I would imagine that we're going to, you're probably right, Rocket may be a distraction from others, but I don't know how long these longer streams are going to go for. I could probably say that maybe a couple of weeks down the line, maybe a month down the line, it's going to be shortened to like an hour stream and get all the main points out and then go from there. But I'll schedule it probably like every morning at the market open or something like that. We'll figure some schedule out instead of just doing like pre-market. I could probably do 30 minutes in the pre-market, see what's happening, and then go into the market open instead of doing it the way that I'm doing it. Which platform is this? This is Webull. I wish they had some sort of labeling here, which they don't. It's crazy. It's a Webull platform. If you go down the link in the description, you can click the link, sign up, get free stocks if you deposit $100. All you need is a quick 45 minutes. Yeah, I tell me about it. I used to take like maybe an hour and a half and do like as much as I can. I would go to the gym, but physically, if I can create a gym, it's a lot better. But I can tell you that every time I think about having 45 minutes, I always go to creating a video, uploading a video, doing something like that rather than going into, working out and whatnot, which I just need to make a little bit of time, a little bit more time because I mean, it's obviously necessary. A question, anyone see the leaked DM on Trey's channel last night? No. I don't think we need to focus on that. I mean, it's his DM, it's his private messages. I would let it go. You gotta focus on yourself too. Yeah, I understand. Good morning, everybody. AMC to the moon. AMC to a certain price point, but I don't know about the moon. Kitty? Do I have my cat somewhere? Both of them are over there. I feel like hedge funds are just going to keep manipulating the market. Yeah, well, that's how I'm feeling too. I mean, it seems like they're going to manipulate it with so many different areas, so many different positions. Even as far as Rocket Mortgage is what a lot of people are looking at, and they're going, well, there was manipulation beforehand, and this is why people think that it was going to skyrocket, even though it did wait quite a bit. Yesterday, it was kind of confusing to me because I was like, I was looking for this because people did mention it in the pre-market, but it didn't really do anything the whole day, and then it just started to skyrocket towards like the end of the day, and that's where I was like, okay, now it starts to skyrocket when I'm not looking at it. I probably saw it somewhere around here, and I was like, I'm too late at this point. Like I can't. I'm expecting to see something happen within this area, but after lunch, I could say that I'm not really looking at the market too much. We do have a lot of like spurts here and there when it comes to around lunchtime or a little after lunch, but it's crazy. What about the short shares that aren't available with AMC? What do you mean by that? Yeah, we have 200 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. What about the short shares that aren't available by AMC? I mean, they're AMC. I don't really know what the total is. Let me go ahead and tell AMC. I believe someone told me this is only a portion of it, but it does show a great picture. It's typically a small sample size actually will show what it really looks like. So yeah, we can see here that we're at 150,000 short shares available. The problem with AMC is that we're not seeing the volume, and I think people are right by saying Rocket Mortgage is kind of a distraction, but at the same time, you don't want to miss out on any opportunity and say, I'm not going to talk about Rocket Mortgage, because Rocket Mortgage could be a good situation for a lot of people. So if we're at 50,000 short shares available, then obviously we have a number of short shares that are actually taken up, and they're continuing to short these positions. But yeah, you can look at the volume for Rocket in the pre-market. Look at this. Volume for Rocket in the pre-market, 2.1 million. This means that we're going to probably see a large amount of people buy into this position. I don't know if this is going to be low. It looks like it is resisting somewhere around that $37 mark. So this might be the point to where you actually can get in and gain a decent amount of money, maybe $10, $20, maybe even more than that, depending how big the news is. But AMC, you look at the volume here, it's at 500,000. GME, it's at basically under 100,000. It's at 58,000, or yeah, 58K. So we're seeing that as kind of a distraction, because Rocket Mortgage yesterday had, 366 or 370 million shares of volume. That's crazy. We have 271 people. Please hit that like button. How am I? I'm pretty good. Rocket Mortgage is a pump and dump. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about that. I would consider them definitely having squeeze potential, being over 40% short and actually increasing as the days go on, as the hours go on. So yes, I can say that they're looking to pump it and dump it, but you can look at GME and AMC kind of the same way and say that people are looking to get it at the highest price it could possibly get to, and then end up dumping it. Rocket is a distraction from GME. There's a lot of people saying this. There's been a lot of talk about ITRM. Rocket is trash. Don't take the bait. I'm definitely interested in it because I can see the movement. And yes, you see the very quick movement, but I also, like I said, I don't want to invest the whole boat and expect to gain $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, however many $1,000 from that. But yeah, I can look at it and say that I did want to test it to see how quick it did go up. It ended up fluctuating towards the end of the day, so I invested kind of at the wrong time, I guess. But yeah. But I was looking to test it really, and it came back, pulled me out at a loss of $20, and went on from there. So We can see where they're at now is at $39.50. I would like them to be somewhere around that $37 mark. If they can get down to there, that would be amazing. But what I'm looking for is, I don't know if we're going to see a crazy push in the beginning of the day. With all of this volume, I would think we're going to see some sort of crazy push, but I'm not 100% sure. As for AMC, I mean, we're pretty much sitting at even. It did rise to about $9.12, but it's not really making too many moves because of the volume. We need more volume here. And the volume is not going to dictate everything that it does. It's just with higher volume, you obviously can see higher price movements, percentage-wise. Not saying that it's going to move, it's always going to increase when it has higher volume. You've seen that one day where we had 400 plus million shares. That ends up, going down. Citadel is pumping rocket. Look at their purchase. I mean, there was also a large investment by Dumb Money. I don't know if you're familiar with them. There was a large investment. OCGN, wow, that was pumped. That's going to be dumped right in the beginning of the day. Over the pre-market, like what in the world? From $9 to $14 is a huge pump. There's absolutely no way. I mean, there's a possibility that it could still increase as well, but that looks like a major pump here. It's literally within an hour or so. Yeah. Let me log in real quick. It sucks going to sleep late and then waking up early. It's a little ridiculous. Going to sleep at 1 in the morning and then waking up at 5 is crazy. But I deal with it. Wait a quick second. There we go. Perfect. I've been trying to tell people. Yep. Thoughts on Mavis? It looks like there's a lot of great movers today. I would say Mavis. I know they were in a good situation. Up in that $20 mark, right? Weren't they up a little higher than that at one point? Let me see what the 10,000 foot view. Yeah, they were up to $24. It looks like it's taking kind of not a turn for the worse, but it is starting to decrease here. I don't have any news on Mavis on MVIS, but we need to find where that actual low point is. This might be that low point, seeing how it passed a new high here. It made a new high compared to what the old high was. So seeing that makes me think that it's on the uptrend here. It's going to continue to increase. Hopefully we can see that continue as people start to buy in. You can see the buy orders coming in at $16. So that's kind of lower than where we actually are. We do have some sell orders, but it's not really much movement. You do see a little bit of increase over the last couple of days, right? From basically that low, that $14 mark, all the way up to the $19 mark, which it did increase again. Is that a point to where it will continue to resist that? Maybe $19. Yeah, we just have to check the levels. So $17.90, we have $18.05. not really showing too many big orders right now in the pre-market, but you are seeing a lot of sell orders come in more than buy orders. Let's see where the EMA actually is. I could have predicted this, that the EMA is now crossed over the 15 moving average is now crossed over the 200 EMA, which indicates that it's going to be positive price action. So that's in the 10,000 foot view. But if you look at it closer, it's probably something that's more downhill, especially with this day going from $19 all the way down to whatever it got to, $16 here. So I would definitely, wait it out. If this is on the downtrend, it does look like it's 3% up in the pre-market. But if this is on a downtrend, then you're basically going to hit somewhere around either a new low, or it might end up resisting or having a support level down here around that $14.50 mark. So we'll see. Why are people still trading GME? Well, I'll tell you, GME still has a lot of movement. But it is, if you look at it from like a 10,000 foot view, you can see that it is like kind of flatlining here, right? You do have a number of, basically the channel here will be like down this way. You can see it start to progressively get smaller, right? Let's look at, progressively get smaller and then eventually end up crossing over. So you're seeing that it's starting to really flatten out, which is not necessarily a good thing, but you can still see the positivity, a lot of the volatility that you do see in the price change of the day. So if we look at every day for the past 5 days, you can see that there is some volatility. It's starting to flatten out as of late, especially in the pre-market, being up lower than 1%. You still have a lot of potential here because you still have a lot of shorted shares. You still have some volume that's going into here. It's not a crazy amount of volume. It was a lot better, but it is, some pretty decent volume. Way better than what it was, obviously pre-pandemic and pre this whole situation. Sorry, I'm out of AMC. I will sell all. You're selling at a loss, or you're selling at a gain or break even? Buy the dip. That's what I'm looking for Rocket. I'm trying to see exactly where the dip is. It is at $38.90. Like I said, I would like to see it at $37 or below, but I want to see exactly what's going to happen here. I don't know what this dip truly is, because it doesn't look like, it looks like it's has these support levels down here at the $38 mark, the $37 mark, right? It has those support levels. So seeing that, what am I going to do here? Will I invest at 37? I'm expecting it to increase. Will I wait for it to push down? Do I believe that it's going to push up? Like, is that what's going to happen? So I bought 5 extra GME shares in honor of Sir Perry holding. Wow. So over the past day, this has moved a substantial amount from $7, about that $7 mark, all the way up to $11. So it moved quite a bit. It's not like a crazy movement, but seeing 19% and 24% in the pre-market is definitely a pretty good movement. Obviously, I would love to see this during the day, but in the pre-market, when you see that big of an increase, it really pushes people to say, is it going to be a sell-off? Why is this actually increasing? And I don't know the news why it's actually increasing. There's a rocket rising sharply. So it's rising because of rocket and how they're tied together. That's the reason why it's moving. Rocket leads financial gainers. Let me see something. holding in the company underwriter provides closed documentation for residential mortgage loans. Trying to see how they're tied to Rocket Mortgage at all. But you do see some really big movement here. I'm gonna keep that as being pretty interesting today, just to see what's happening. I'm also gonna add it to popular right now. We have 471 people in here. If you could hit that like button, that would be amazing. Are you buying anything pre-market? I'm not buying anything pre-market. I always like to see the actual volume as it gets into the day, because you see that huge movement and you can never really predict if it's really going to go up or down unless you have a lot of movement and it seems like a pump and dump. Sort of like some of the last ones we were looking at. So yeah, I'm not buying anything pre-market right now, but I'm going to look at it when the market opens. Again, I'm not going to be live when the market opens. I have a couple of things I need to do. Added to linked videos? You mean liked? Added to liked videos? I hope that's the case. Let me continue to log in so that I can licked videos. Stop talking like you're so smart, bro. LOL. I'm not that smart. I would never buy Rocket. That stock. Okay. Smash the like button for this guy. Yes, smash the like button. Trades is live. I don't know if he's live. I haven't checked. What do you consider a good prices to get back into GME as well as AMC? For AMC, like I said, anything really below that $10 mark, I feel like they're a $10 to $15 stock, right? So yeah, they're resisting the $9.50 mark, right? They're pulling back when it gets up to $9 plus. I understand that, but they physically are a $10 to $15 stock. They should be up there, and obviously post-pandemic or post-COVID, it's going to be something that's probably a $20 stock. So, yeah, watching and not liking. So I would say anything below $10 is probably a good price for AMC. So even at this point, it's really good. I would love for my cost basis to be below $9. Right now I'm at $9.38. But that's kind of, it's not just pennies that you would be worried about. Yes, it seems like pennies, but when you have thousands of shares, then that's where it ends up being, if it's 30 cents, it's equaling quite a bit. Drew Brees is overrated. Come on. Quite a bit more than what you would normally look at. So it's not like just 38 cents. It's going to be 38 cents times like 2,000 or 1,000, which would be like $300, $400. Or I guess $300, $400 if it's only 1,000 shares. If it's 2,000 shares, then you double that. So yeah, AMC is a flop. Rocket Mortgage flew before AMC. What? Rocket Mortgage is something newer on the scene. Obviously, people have been looking at it since the IPO, but I can understand what you're getting at. AMC has been manipulated and it's continuing to be manipulated. Rocket Mortgage is just starting to get manipulated, and I think that's why I'm hesitant to invest in the pre-market. because yes, it is going down. You do see it dropping significantly, and it makes sense to buy this dip, right? But who knows how low this dip is actually going to go. In one day, it moved from that $26 mark all the way up to $40, which means that if it does go back down to 26, literally in the morning, then you're going to see something pretty bad here. So I'll make sure I look at it and see what happens. But through the first 30 minutes, I'm probably not going to be able to do anything anyways, because I have a couple of things I need to do at 9:30. What do you think of Apple stock? Is a good time to invest? If you're looking long term, it's definitely at a low point, right, compared to where it was. It's definitely at a lower point. I would say if you're looking to gain, it depends how long you're looking to invest into it. If you're talking about over a year, then yeah, you can get some pretty decent movement from it. And it looks like it may be, making a turn here. Looking at a 10,000 or 100,000 foot view, you can see that it is making a turn here, a little bit of a turn, not something that's drastic, but it doesn't really have any sharp movements. If you look at Apple, it doesn't really have too many sharp movements. I also don't see them really as a day trading opportunity because of the high to low movement. It really only moves $3. And I don't know what it actually is on average, but I think it's lower than that. So it can definitely be a time to actually buy in. It's at a lower point. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, it's at a lower point. Maybe you can hold out, but I don't know if it will pull back down to sub 120. I'm not 100% sure, especially since it is on an uphill movement. Let's see, why does my EMA keep going away? Yeah, so once you see that crossover, it's going to indicate that upward movement. You also want to look out for some pretty bullish candlesticks, which we're really not seeing over the last couple of days or the last day or so. It's been kind of flat. So we'll see how that does move. Over some of these days, you can see quite a bit of movement. So yeah. Meet Kevin says that Rocket is valued or should be valued at $30, so stay away from it if it's above that. Yeah, but then again, I mean, there's some that should be valued at certain portions. So like GME. I don't believe they're valued at over $100, not even close. But people are still buying in because you have that potential squeeze, and that's the thing that you don't want to miss out on, is that fear of missing out that you have there with Rocket or with GME or with whatever. For AMC, it's something that they're below where their actual value is. I believe their value is higher than where they are, so it makes sense for the long term if you wanted to invest. GME, it's very tough to say I want to get into that because it's at $118, which it looks like it's less because where it's been for the last month or so, a little bit over that. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to be looking at Rocket Mortgage to see what their movement is, because if people are investing into this, if you see a high amount of volume, it definitely starts to get interesting. That's where it ends up being really good. Yes, there's about 500 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. Henry, thank you for saying that. GME is definitely not worth 100 or above. Yeah, you're right. So that's what I'm saying. When I say that GME is not worth 100, it doesn't mean that people aren't buying in it above 100, because they're looking to push that price up. They understand what the potential is in these positions, and if hedge funds are manipulating this, then you're going to see a lot of good movement here. So look at all of this green that we do see here. Rocket is the only thing that's down basically like 8%. You can see a lot of green movement. You do have Fubo TV. Is it Fubo? Fubo TV. They're pretty down 6%. They were up yesterday in the pre-market, and then ended up having a pretty substantial decrease to where they did skyrocket towards the end of the day, right? So yeah, I think I think that we're going to see some really good positive movement today. We could see Riot's up 13%. Did that have a huge gap in the morning? That's crazy. Huge gap. 51 up to 55. Wow. Definitely making some moves over the last couple of days. A lot of fluctuation. Not really fluctuation, but more increase slash decrease over the last couple of days. What's my target price for GME? GME is tough. I would like to see them under 100 in order to get some sort of substantial gain. I know they do move quite a bit. Like yesterday, I talked about the fact that it would hit 135, and that it could be a movement between 135 and 105, I believe. Yeah, something like that. And we've seen movement of about wrong way. 105 and 135, but I think we only went down to 112 and went up to 133. So that was close, but it wasn't really a $30 movement. The average movement for GME was $30. So I would say I would like to see it below 100 before I make a move. But like I said, you could see this leveling off, which is not a good sign. You want to see the volume increase, and the volume is not doing that. You know, you have 76,000 in volume, which I understand it is the pre-market, but how much are we going to see in the open? I just hope we do see it, and you know, Rocket is not too much of a distraction here. Bofu. AMC to the moon today. I could definitely see we're seeing some positivity, but like I said, with GME, we're not seeing the volume here, which doesn't really tell me that it's not going to increase. It could still increase, but if there is any manipulation with any of this like lack in volume, then you're going to see that decrease. So, or just stay flat for the next couple of days. So this is what people are hoping for, is that it does increase here, but I want to see a lot more volume, way more than what we're seeing now. But like I said, if you're looking at Rocket, almost, you know, we're at over 2.5 million or 2.6 million at this point. Rocket might fall just like weed stocks did. This is the thing though, weed stocks grew like hundreds of percents. So the fact that Rocket Mortgage only went up 70%, and only don't take that lightly because it did go up 70%. That's huge. But seeing that it did move up 70%, I think there's a lot more room to grow, especially with the fact that they still are shorting positions. So like if I look into, let's look at some short interest data. Short volume ratio 28%. So Rocket Mortgage now has 0 short shares available. So Rocket Mortgage now has 0 short shares available, right? That's obviously a good thing for Rocket Mortgage. So this is where you're going to see some positivity go on the side of Rocket, and that's why you see a lot of volume that's pushing towards there. And I don't want to keep talking about Rocket here because I would like to push AMC as much as possible because, you know, I'm heavily invested in AMC. Cap? Cap what? What is cap? I know what it means, but what am I capping about? Sounds sus. Yeah, I mean, it. I can tell you that a lot of people are invested into this thinking that it is valued at, well, Rocket was valued at more there than it was. And that it should have pushed above 30. And obviously, Meet Kevin says it should be valued at 40. That seems like, who wears a cap indoors? Who wears a hat indoors? A bunch of people wear hats. You're only supposed to wear a hat outside? But that doesn't make sense. What do you think AMC is going to? With the lack of volume, if we don't see any manipulation, which we are seeing a lot of sell volume come in here, even in the pre-market versus any buy volume. Without any manipulation, yes, I could see it continue to hover between that $9 or $9.50 and down to that $8.50 mark. But yeah, if there's a lack of volume, I really don't see it pushing past that. And if it does, I'm okay with it. But I don't really see it pushing past that because you need volume in order to continue to skyrocket this. Unless they're covering a lot of their short positions. If they start covering that, there's really a lot of variables. And it seems like right now they don't have as many short shares available. So they may be covering some shorts and then end up shorting the position again. So you might see this price increase a little bit, might fluctuate today. But I'm having a feeling that it might be a little flat after the first 30 minutes, which is always something that, you know, increases quite a bit or decreases quite a bit. You're going to see it flatline and start to, you know, flatten out here. So do you think it could go to 12? I think it could go to 12. I don't think it could go to 12 today, not with the volume that I'm seeing. Some old-fashioned thinking there on hats. Any thoughts on SKT? It's the second highest shorted stock behind. That's interesting. It's the second highest shorted stock. Look at that huge gap. It's bigger than what you. It makes it look a lot bigger because the scale is larger or smaller. Sorry. So overall thoughts. I mean, it doesn't really, like I said with other things, it doesn't have the volume here. So if it's the second highest shorted position, it doesn't look like it. It's not showing the amount of volume, and you could possibly, if it's before any volume increase, you could possibly get in here with a low amount of shares and see some sort of increase as people start to get into it. But looking at a 10,000 foot view, you can see it has had that increase like what the cannabis sector has had. It's not something that's a crazy increase over one day and a decrease over one day. You do see a large decrease over one day, but it's not a full decrease over one day, which is a good sign. This increase was over multiple days. So the only thing is that you are seeing that large increase and then it falling back in line with the trend. So I think you could possibly get into here if it is a highly shorted position, which I haven't checked into. I haven't fact checked, but yeah, I think it has potential if it is heavily shorted. Any stock that is heavily shorted can tend to get backed by a lot of people, according to Fintel. But the shorts went up 1.3 million. Now one. Yeah, I mean for AMC, according to Fintel, the shorts went from 1.3 million to now 150K. Check it. Yeah, I did check. Is it AM? Are you talking about AMC or are you talking about Rocket? Because I think Rocket was at 150. When did I enter Rocket? I did get into it, so I got in and got out. So I was expecting, to see what the positivity was at the end of the day. And that's basically where I seen it because I was basically working all day. So I didn't check the stock market, but I did see it somewhere around like, I think it was right here because I ate lunch late. So eating lunch late, I started, checking the stock market and seeing that it was a large increase because I did monitor it here. I wish I would have gotten in here, but I didn't see any positive movement here. I wanted to see some good movement. If I did see good movement, then I would have actually gotten into it below $30. Seeing this large candlestick is a real indication that it's going to continue to go up. The only thing that we should have actually seen was this crossover all the way back here, but that was a number of days ago, right? So I wish I would have gotten in somewhere around here, but then again, you can't really fight what the past was. So I looked at it here and I got into it around $41, and just to test it to see if it would have that spike at the end of the day. And it did have sort of a spike, but I got stopped out before it had that spike. I just wanted to test it, and I was okay with losing $20 over gaining, $100+ maybe $500 at this point if it would have went up to 45, $400 if it would have went up to 45. So I got in and got out of Rocket just to test the waters, and now I'm looking at it to see where it is, where the support levels are. You can see it's at $37. I don't know how high this is going to go or how low this is going to go, but I'm very interesting. Why did I eat lunch so late? I get caught up in a lot of the work that I'm doing. So if I'm typing things up or doing some sort of project or whatever it actually is, if I'm finishing up a file, then I'll continue to work on that, and I just won't eat lunch. Funny thing is I don't eat breakfast, so which I really miss breakfast. So I try and eat breakfast sometimes at lunch. There was a Reddit post saying someone 14 million shares of AMC. You think that would start a rise in AMC? Slightly. I think, yeah, if someone's going to buy 14 million shares throughout the day, yes, it will continue to push that position up because obviously you're buying it up. 14 million shares is a huge amount, especially with the volume being so low as it is. Now, if you look at that compared to the average volume, how much of a percentage would that make up? If you're talking about the average volume here, and they're doing 14 million shares, it's basically like 10% of where it is, right? So 10% is going to be huge to bring that stock price up, but especially if the volume is really, really low. But we never know what the manipulation side is going to be. I think it will increase the price, seeing 14 million shares go through, but I don't know. I kind of doubt it that the 14 million shares will go through for one person or I guess a number of people there. Do I like bacon? Yes, I like bacon. Not bragging, but I got an AMC at 350 because I believe in the company. Have a good day, people. That's amazing, Oscar. That's great that you got in so low. A lot of people would love to get in at that price and then even sell at this price. But usually when people get in that low, they don't really buy the largest amount of shares because, most people are getting in and they're like thousandaires, they're not millionaires, but people that are millionaires will buy a larger amount of shares. So they'll get into these positions. So like people like dumb money can put in over $1 million worth of, Rocket Mortgage stock and end up increasing that by 70% at this point, or even higher than that, depending when they got in. You're funny. A post that goes on to say that those 14 million shares was just a transfer from one exchange to another. They didn't actually buy them. Great to know. So then that will not move any price. I haven't checked out, was it on wallstreetbets? I haven't checked out Reddit today. Ugh. But yeah, AMC, like I said, it's not really having too much movement today. GME is not having too much movement. You could see Rocket down 11%. This is really interesting. I want to see exactly where it's going to go because this could be a form of buying the dip. And if the dip is low enough, you can make a substantial amount going up to that $48 mark if it can reach back up there. It looks like it, tries to, doesn't really have too much information here to say whether it is resisting at certain points. Try to see some touch points. Matt, we both know you're a softy and scared of confrontation, but acting like we don't know, dude. You're funny. I wouldn't be scared of confrontation. Does holding affect the price at all? Yes. If you're holding, theoretically the price should stay the same. Obviously, with anybody that's selling at that point, it's going to decrease the price. But if we have all of the shares, say if we had all of the shares, which is physically impossible, but if we had all the shares and we were holding them, right, that price should theoretically either stay the same or increase with the fact that the demand is so high. It's just like somebody buying up some sneakers that they only have 5 available. The demand is so high for them that the price continues to increase. It's the same way here. That's why all these people want to hold. Matthew, is it true that you've never been in a fight? I shouldn't say that I've been in fights, but recently, no. No. But never? No, that's not true. Let's get on topic. This is a stock talk. Can you give my mom a birthday shout out? Say happy birthday to Dixie Normus. That's a good one. I don't know how I've never heard that name. I'm sorry if I'm laughing and that's actually your mom's name, but I'm pretty sure that's not. Sorry, you have kids as your audience. I hope we don't have kids as my audience. Longer streams. What are you talking about? I spent so much money averaging down yesterday. It better work out. You averaged down from AMC? You were averaging down. What's your cost average at this point? Saints fan from Louisiana? No, I'm from PA. If stimulus comes soon, will stocks drop or rise? They should rise. Obviously, people that are getting stimulus checks, some people don't really need it because they're in that like a certain income bracket and they've been getting money this whole entire time. So certain people don't need it. They could use it for different positions. They could put it into their, it should increase prices of a lot of different positions, not just this. But yeah. Texas represent. What's your opinion on quadruple witching? What is that? Went from $10.94 to $9.47 AMC. I know I'm an asshole for getting in that high. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'm in at $9.38. I've even got in, if you look at my average here for AMC, my average here, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, you probably can't, is $9.95. So I'm right below $10, and I think anything below $10 is probably a good bet. So getting at $9.48 or 47 cents is good, but there are some people that are in at like $3 or $2. I just hate when these YouTubers think they can fight, especially the ones who sit on their ass all day talking about stocks. At least Jake Paul puts in the work. You're Jake Paul? I know what training funds MMA is about. You have no credibility if you're going to name Jake Paul. You have no credibility. Come on, man. Jake Paul fights people who cannot fight and ducks the people that can fight. You mentioned Jake Paul. Oh my goodness. You need to get off this stream at this point. You're gonna mention Jake Paul. At least he puts in the work. He's gotten knocked out by every sparring partner he's had. Come on now. Tell him, young Drake. And really said Jake Paul. I know. I don't understand it. You could have said any other name. You could have said his brother at least. You could have said Logan. I take Logan to be more of a professional fighter than Jake is. Even though, Logan lost, like, am I related to Will Smith? No. He was better off saying Chris Paul. That's funny. Oh man. All right, so getting back into these positions, really we're going over like these four. It does look like Tesla made a little bit of a jump and then obviously decreased a lot, pretty substantial, down to $683. That's definitely interesting to me to see if I can buy into that, gain a little bit of money out of that. That would be amazing, especially with the amount of people that are like die-hard, Tesla fans and their cult-like following. But yeah, yesterday I didn't see any type of increase over Tesla, or else I would have jumped in there. I didn't really see them making any moves. They were at that $7 mark, decreased to about $700 mark, and they decreased to about $685, which is not really a huge movement, compared to the regular days. But yeah. No, it's not about he's begging for his life to fight Conor McGregor. I guess Conor can't fight. Obviously he can. He's not giving him the time of day. You see who they take more seriously. They take Logan Paul more seriously than Jake Paul, because that's why Mayweather was like, you know what, I'm okay with fighting Logan Paul, even though Jake is 2-2 or 2-0 or something like that. Like the shirt, bro. Thank you. Saints all day. Who dat? HCMC dead? What's going on with HCMC? Wow. I mean, it's decreasing quite a bit. This is really why I don't like penny stocks. I don't like, especially ones that are way less than a penny. It just doesn't make sense to get into it for me. It's the fluctuation, the movement down to zero, the fact that they can go like, be non-existent in the next couple of days or weeks. It's just something that I'm not into. Yo, bro, it'd be dope if you checked me out. Lottery stocks? I'll check you out. Actually, look at you now. 152 subscribers. That's good. 30 videos. That's not bad. Hopefully these are organic views. You see, I really appreciate anybody that starts to, you know, make a business, basically. Take that leap into creating a YouTube channel, or trading stocks, or whatever you're actually doing. Take that leap into creating this other income or passive income or whatever. So I like if people start to create YouTube channels. This space is huge. There's enough room to grow for so many people. It's not like the makeup industry or pranking or any of those. Like, those end up being, it ends up being very tough. Reaction videos tends to be very tough to grow in. But I can tell you that there's definitely room to grow here. Yeah, no problem. Lottery stocks, definitely check him out, see what he's got going on. I'm gonna check out maybe a couple of your videos and see what's happening there. Check out my OnlyFans. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. How's your Uncle Tyler doing? I don't have an Uncle Tyler. You're talking about Tyler Perry. I am not related to Tyler Perry. Rocket Companies was going crazy. It's tapering down. Yeah, it's starting to make a move down, which I don't believe is 11% down to $36. I don't believe it's just that massive movement. We might see a lot of buying power. We do see a lot of selling power right now in the pre-market. This is why I wanted to wait for the open to see what they can do, because it could be to a point to where so many people buy in. You look at the amount of volume it does have. It's basically pushing 4 million, and it will push 4 million when the market opens. I'll keep an eye out on it, and hopefully, we can see some sort of substantial increase. If we see something that's a rapid increase that's unsustainable, then obviously I'm going to put in any stop losses I could put in, sell those positions, and get out with, pretty good move. Did I get robbed? You ain't wearing 2 watches today. This wasn't the thing that I had on my wrist over here was a Whoop strap, if you know what that is. I have it upstairs. I'm washing the band right now because I've had it on for so long, and I need to buy more actual straps. So I've been wearing this active band because I have been trying to make a move to work out or go for a run if I can, but it's very tough to be able to do that. So any chance that I can do some sort of little workout, I will do it, and I don't want to mess up any leather bands by doing that. So that's why I'm not wearing a different watch. It's going to be probably the same watch for a little bit. With enough volume, RKT can hit 42 again. Yeah, I think with the volume that we've seen yesterday, if we see the same volume, we can see another day of crazy increases. And this is what I'm hoping for. I mean, the only thing that we were seeing towards the end of the day and in the after hours market, you could see that it did flatten, people waiting for that gap up, and it did end up gapping up to where people will sell off. I didn't think that the sell-off would be this much. I was hoping that it would be this much, and I'm continuing to see if that will go down, because if it does go down to sub 30, then that's where it could be a little bit more interesting to buy into. But I want to see any type of turn here. The turn will get me, and I'll buy like maybe 100 shares and watch that price go up. Hopefully it can go up by like $10 or so, and I can gain $1,000. That will be my profit target if I can see a push, a very big push. With enough volume, I think RKT could hit 60 by Thursday. Yeah, over a number of days. Yeah, what's today, Wednesday? Yeah, over a couple of days, I definitely can see that it could hit it if we have the volume. But Then again, I mean, you're taking the volume maybe away from GME and AMC. I'm not 100% sure. But you do have a lot of people that are still holding AMC and GME, so it's not something that's going to drastically change. And any time they cover their shorts, these prices are going to increase. So we'll see how that plays. Yes, I'm 29. I will be 30 soon. Saints and Bulls fan? How do you know I was a Bulls fan? Did I have on a... Oh, I had on a Bulls shirt. Yeah, okay. Yes, Saints and Bulls fan. If people are asking how does that make sense, because I've never been in New Orleans, there's a really good story that I think is at least a good story. Just turned 30 yesterday. Sucks. 30 is awesome. Anything big on the order book for AMC today? Not really. If it does drop a little bit, you'll see me probably buy into more shares here because I only have 100 shares in Webull, but I have 1,700 shares in Fidelity, obviously at a lower cost average. So I would like to lower this cost average, and if I bring it down, I would like to probably buy into it at $8. If it goes down, which I don't think it will, I think it will probably go down to that $8.50 mark. It doesn't look like the volume is crazy today. But then again, we could see a lot of them cover their shorts, which means that the price will go up while you're partnering that with a lot of buy-ins. So, yeah. J22, I don't know if you're like, I don't know what your issue may be, but you go off and on between like saying, oh well, you can't fight or something like that, you're not tough, and then going to the fact that it's all love and all of this and positive thoughts, and then it's just like, what is your issue? You looking to get a rise out of people? Is that what it is? 'Cause that's cool if you're doing that. And I mean cool by the temperature wise, meaning that I won't show it any love. Why don't you change your channel to Stock Chasers? Because it's not going to be only about stocks, and I don't know where that name came from, but it's not only going to be about stocks for me, and I don't ever chase the position. I look for the time to get in at the lowest point, or the lowest point that I see, and then I get into obviously drive that stock price up. Why do I not do options? Just curious. Options, one, I'm just not familiar with it, so I haven't educated myself on it. And two, I hear that you can lose a lot more money. It's a lot more risk involved because it's basically like gambling. I think of gambling as you can predict when a price or where a price will be in the next month. Basically, I'll do the same thing with golf and say that Tiger Woods will win this championship in 7 months. And then again, I take that bet, but he doesn't play, something like that. So that's gambling. You don't even know if they're going to be injured. You don't know if they're going to play well, or if they're going to make the weekend. Like, you don't know any of that stuff. And with options, that's technically the same thing. I mean, you're kind of, from what I know about it, you're really just trying to predict where the price will be. How do I get my Webull set up like yours? There's a number of things that you could do. I believe that it's set up with this price, the price and all the information here. So the quotes is going to be up here. You're also going to see a bunch of different things. You can actually go to, you can click the 3 lines on any of these areas. And then what you're going to do is go to add widget, and then you're going to go to all widgets, and then you can add the different types of widgets. So if you want to add quotes up top, you can add that quote and drag and drop it. So if I just add this, I can drag and, come on, maybe I can't drag and drop it. So yeah, I can drag and drop it and say, this is where I want to put it, this is where I want to put it. You just need to navigate through this and build it the way you want. The only thing is the order book you need to pay for. So that's going to be something that's different. if you wanted to have that information. Hey man, there's a ghost behind you. Could be. Those things always get me. I like watching those videos. Who's that behind you? Add midget? Widget. Widget. I don't know about that. I can't really read that. If yeah. Anyone think NAK is good? What's NAK? Are you talking about NAKD? I don't like penny stocks, and the fact that it's going downhill, no, absolutely not. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. No, for the last couple of days, you can see that the 200 EMA was over the 15 moving average, and it looks pretty flat for the last couple of days. No movement at all, no volume, nothing. So I would say no. But if you have some insider information that gets you there, then go for it. Webull is giving order book free for the first 3 months. Why? Oh, for new people. That's good. I did not know that, but they're giving free level 2 because level 2 is more than just order book, right? If they're giving you free level 2, then that's amazing. What's your opinion on CCIV? I was actually looking at CCIV for a while. I was wondering when they were going to have any type of increase. They did decrease quite a bit, and I thought that maybe they would go a little bit lower. They did increase over the pre-market, but then, or in the after hours, but then in the pre-market, they started to kind of bow out here. And I expected them to I thought they were going to cross over here and we were going to see some sort of increase. I don't know where the bottom is, but once I find the bottom, I may make an investment in CCIV. Just to see that continually increase. The problem is that you see this, it's not like a large dip that you're seeing. Yes, you did have a decrease over the pre-market or after hours market, right? But you've seen this bow out. Without that, it would really bow. You know, you had a bunch of people that sold off in the after hours thinking that it was going to come down, and then it started to continue to sell off. So I'm looking for a low point to get back in, because I do believe that it does have a little bit more potential to increase quite a bit. So I want to see what they're doing here. I want to find that low point, see when a reversal will actually happen and when I can get in. But it doesn't look like you're seeing many good moves here. You had one day that really increased, but it wasn't even a substantial increase. So that's what I'm waiting for. But CCIV could be good. You think because of Texas open 100% on the 10th will affect the price of AMC? They're opening 100% of their theaters on the 10th? Or they're opening 100% of all of their businesses? I've been kind of blind to all that stuff. So I'm only going to stream until 9:20, not until the market opens, because I have to get some stuff done at 9:30. I have a meeting, so I got to get to that. Texas State is opening up. I wouldn't say that they have the similar height to get to Apple if they are working. If Apple's working with Lucid, I wouldn't say they have the ability to get to the same price point as Apple. That's not how that works. But it can see a substantial increase by having that news out there and seeing them as more viable than they actually are, or than they're showing here on the chart. Am I following the buzz situation? Portnoy is going on about what? I haven't seen what Portnoy is talking about. Oh, recent bounce before they sell off at 60. At that, I'm done. Yeah, I can definitely see that. What? I thought you were asking a valid question there, but Mississippi opened up 100%. Yeah, I think once they start opening up, yes, you're going to see positivity there, but with AMC, but you're still going to see manipulation, right? Because if it all matters what the hedge funds want. And yes, you could have a company that's valued at a certain amount, but if they want to decrease that stock price, they will decrease that stock price. So it's mainly going to be more of a battle between us and the hedge funds, no matter what the businesses do. Yes, you're going to see an influx of people buying up this position, but if we're holding 70%, 80% of the position, which is still kind of unheard of. I mean, we're not holding, I don't know how much we're actually holding, but if we're holding a lot of the position, it's still going to be tough for them to buy in at a high rate. So that's where it ends up being a little bit difficult, and we just have to wait for the hedge funds to cover their shorts, stop taking short positions, understand that the value of this stock is going to stay where it is and it's not going to go lower. That's what it's about. Yeah, I'm gonna stop streaming in like 14 minutes just to get prepared for some stuff. I have a meeting to get to. You all know about meetings, right? Meetings are great. Log off, log back on. Where's that? What stocks would you buy today if you had only 1K to spend, short-term, low risk? Well, short-term, low risk, not long-term, as in most times if I only had $1,000 to invest, the first place I'm putting it is dividend positions. But if I only had $1,000 to invest, you want it to be short-term, something like a swing trade. Let's see, there's a lot of positions that have some thoughts to it. So I don't know how short-term, no, I wouldn't say cannabis would be the best bet right now. Still seeing kind of that downturn. Right now it's really tough because you've seen a more red day. And how short-term are you talking about? You're talking about more of a swing trade over the last couple of days, the last week or so. $1,000. I would put it into something that's probably a little more reliable. It looks like Apple's definitely taking a turn. If you can put about 1,000 into there with the hopes that it would come back up to close to that 150 mark. If you're looking to gain about $6, I would say that that makes the best sense. It's something that is reliable. It's a highly reputable company. It does move quite a bit in a number of days. You can see that it is taking a turn and starting to creep up towards that, 200 EMA. It is starting to move down, so you might want to see what it's going to do in the open. It might be a different situation in the open than what we're seeing here, but it is starting to creep up towards that 200 EMA, which means that once it does cross over, it indicates an upswing. So you're going to see that long term, and I believe that it could get up to 30 or 130, 135, maybe 150 as well. It just really depends as to all of the people that are getting into it. But you do see an influx in volume in buy orders versus sell orders. So I would say, yeah, definitely go somewhere that's like an Apple, that's at pretty much close to where the bottom is, or where we think the bottom may be, and then seeing that positivity flourish, really. So in my opinion, if I was looking at a pattern here, I would say that you do have that increase, slight decrease, increase over one day, slight decrease over the next day. The same thing you're seeing with both of these situations, and you may see the same thing. It may just continue to mirror itself. So just find out when this bottom actually is, when the market opens, and then you could possibly get in there and hold out for a little bit. LTC, yeah, LTC Properties definitely has a dividend that I like. I talk about them all the time as a monthly paying dividend position, as well as SPHD, which I just invested into SPHD for my Roth IRA. Just to have that dividend there, I will put more money back into Realty Income and LTC. Uh, Hit the like button, everyone, especially the trolls, because he actually responds to everything you put in the comments. Maybe not in the way that you want him to react, but at least he acknowledges and responds. That's 100% true. I appreciate the fact that you notice that. I try to respond to as many things as I can. I'm not a person that really, shies away from a lot of people talking here. Anything that they say, I try and read it. And if it's something that I obviously can't read on stream, then I won't read it aloud, but I will read it and say, give my opinion of what you said. Smash the like button. Yes, hit that like button. We got 331 likes, almost 1,000 people watching, which we're gonna have to end the stream soon. So we're gonna end it when it starts to get up to the highest amount. Just watched your RKT video. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts now that we're closer to the open? Yeah, once we're close, so I talked about this a couple of times. So right now we're at $36.68. For RKT, I'm definitely going to be watching it to see if this is the bottom, because if it is, then it has a lot of potential between that $45, $48 mark to where you can actually get into it. So we're seeing a lot of volume, 4.4 million shares worth of volume today, which is crazy. And this is just in the pre-market. So the average volume that you see in a day is 17 million. So just imagine what's going to happen right when it opens. We're probably going to hit that average volume right when it opens on the first candlestick in 1 minute. It looks like the volume is going to continue to increase, and that's what I want to see. If we're going to see a crazy uptick in the price, which you are seeing a lot of buying power here, I want to see that crazy uptick here, and maybe I'll consider buying in and wait for that price to drive up by $10 or so. But I still do want to see what's going to happen. We do have a lot of buy orders that are coming in, but we still do have a lot of sell orders that are partnered with that. So I want to see exactly what's going to happen, and I'll be ready to buy Rocket Mortgage at probably a limit. I don't know what the limit will be because I don't know what the bottom is right now. It looks like it's trying to resist. It tried to resist at the $37 mark, $38 mark, right? But then it pushed below at that $35 mark, now at $36 or going up to $37. So my thoughts on it is that it definitely could be something that you can quickly make some money on, or swing trade your way into making a decent amount of money. Because with the volume that we're seeing, we could see it skyrocket, and it could be something that you don't want to miss out on, in my opinion. RKT was just on Fox Business. Good remarks. Yeah, well, that's good. That's really good. If we can continue to drive this price up, that'll be amazing for a lot of people. Thanks. You have a very nice way of voicing your thought process to make it understandable. I appreciate that. Who dat? Thank you for the super chat, Ken. Have a great meeting. I hope it's a great meeting. You know, it's month end close, so I have to give updates on month end stuff. Anybody in the finance space understands what I mean. It's definitely something where you have to focus on work a lot and get a lot of the things done, because it's like it just goes by really fast. I feel like I'm chasing RKT if I buy now. This is where you're not. The definition of chasing a position, so let's look at RKT really quick. So the definition of really chasing a stock is chasing it on the way up. The thing that we're looking at is we're actually looking for the support levels and buying it on the way down. So these support levels are telling me that $37, $37+ is somewhere that you should buy into it. But if it did push below it, then we still do have an instance to where we're not chasing it, we're buying the dip. So it's definitely a different situation with the way Rocket is working. For here, I could see that I was actually chasing it just to get a feel of exactly where it's going to go. I ended up chasing it somewhere around, I believe it was somewhere around here, the $41 mark. I bought it at $41, sold at 41 like 20 or something like that. It was 20 cents, or sorry, $40.80. So it was 20 cents to the negative, and I basically lost $20. That's fine. I just wanted to see how it was going to move and if it was going to get that increase. I got stopped out there, and I would have never gotten stopped out if I would have invested lower, and I was going to invest at the sub $39 mark. But with the fear of missing out and getting in to see how it was moving by the end of the day, I wanted to check it out. And obviously, it would have been really good. I would have gained somewhere around $400 if it would have went my way there, and I would have invested at a lower point. It would have been probably $600, but it was just to test the market. I lost 20, played my cards well. I was fine with that. Oh snap, I was looking at the wrong chart. That's true. It's a dip. Yeah, you can see the huge dip that we're seeing here. Right now it's at $36.28. So I want to see exactly what's happening when that open takes place. The problem is I will be in a meeting, so I might have like a quick buy here, a very quick buy. So it might be a different situation, but I have like 3 minutes until we stop here, and then I'll try and stream later, but I don't know if I will 100%. KMPH is going off. KMPH definitely made a move from that $9 mark in the after hours market to really gapping up, and gapping up at 4 o'clock. So gapping up in the morning and really pushing to $21. You're going to see this. For what reason? If there's any news behind it that's valid to where it is going to continue to increase, then yes, you do have a number of people that are still looking to buy at this point. But I believe that it will find a way to sell off. Obviously gapping up, over 100%, and then still being at 73% here. Yeah, there's no way. There's got to be something that pulls back there. Thoughts on HOL? I will check it out here. I have 2 minutes. Oh, your desktop is so clean. No apps. Well, funny thing you say that. You should see my other. I have 2 screens. So you say my desktop is so clean, but this desktop is not clean. A lot of times it is. I do clean it up like probably once a week, but it's funny that you say that, because it's not that clean. It's just the wrong screen. So looking at the last day, it was strictly downhill, decreased by 10%, which doesn't really tell you that you shouldn't look into it, because you could be looking to buy the dip, and this may be that case. because it was up to $22 and it wasn't like a sharp increase and sharp decrease. It was more of just an increase, and you had it flatten out a little bit to where it did have that massive decrease over a number of days. Is it going to recover? You still do have a lot of selling power here rather than buying power. So I would have to see a number of levels to where it does have support. Right now, we're not seeing that. We may see like a couple of levels. I need a couple more touch points to tell me whether it is going to increase. The fact that we've seen this large green candlestick, and obviously that was towards the end of the day, and it probably is consists of multiple candlesticks there. It's definitely a positive, but the fact that it came right back down is not really the best situation. So I want to see a couple more touch points here in order to give me that information. If you were looking at news, and I don't know the reason why it did end up going up at that point, and that was a while ago, so we would need to figure that out. But again, didn't check really any of the news here. But as for the charts, we really want to see the positive movements. We want to see some large green candlesticks. We want to see the 15 moving average start to creep up above the 200 EMA. That's what we want to see, but we're not seeing that. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got a meeting to prepare for, but I will do something. I'm going to try and do something later today. I'm not 100% sure. Depends how my schedule goes and how month-end close goes. But Limitless Drug, I love that movie, by the way. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. I have to get in this meeting. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. We have 400 likes. I would love to get a lot more than that. Definitely try and hit the like button. Check out some of the links. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, check out the Webull link if you want this platform. Check it out. And you'll get free stocks if you sign up and deposit $100. But I'm going to get out of here. I will definitely keep an eye out on Rocket Mortgage and let you know exactly what I do if I make any big moves. But I'm going to get out of here. Again, that's like the 12th time I said it. So I'll see you guys in the next stream.